last Saturday, you might remember this was one of the topics of discussion actually. So it's quite cool that we have a webinar on this tomorrow. And Yogi will be guiding that and will be providing prana kriyas as the way to be able to direct and harness this energy. I think I'll be quiet now and leave it over to Yogi to get the YouTube up and running. So welcome everyone. It's lovely to see you. Get comfy. Get your blankets, get your pillows, get your ice cream, whatever it is, whatever your fancy. And look forward to a lovely discussion this evening with everybody.
Hello everyone. Namaste everyone. Can you probably not hear me or see me? Hello everyone at Zoom and YouTube. How's everybody doing? Is there anybody have any questions like to ask? I think some. Hello, anybody at Zoom making any comments? Can you see it? No questions from you guys in audience? First preference of choice? Silver? Michael, go ahead, my friend.
Surrender. We talk a lot about surrender with when we're in the asanas. We try to surrender our omnipotence. We try to surrender. What does that really look like, and what does that really mean, and what is the process in the context of surrendering to that which is, whichever we are surrendering to? And I think we all have our own deities in that way.
Very important question. You know, sometimes surrender can be misused as a word of having a no self willpower, or can be used or misused by many people to surrender to over empower themselves, or have a no say at all. So there is many scenarios about it. So the topic, how to go by it and what surrender literally mean. Sometimes, if you look it from a religious point of view, you surrender to the hierarchy voice system. You don't have any say, so becomes the commandment, whatever it is. That is the very now everybody surrender to the whatever government tells you to for the vaccine. You have no choice. Sometimes maybe you may have a choice. So you have no other choice to be surrendered, or you've been broken into surrender. That is a by force. By force to break down your willpower, or by force to break down, you don't have any statement in your life. You can't say anything. So basically, your individual viewpoint become non-existent, or your individual awareness or your ego becomes not existent at all, which is not actually the way of spirituality. When we use word surrender in a spiritual term, is slightly different. Like if you can remember, if two parties are fighting, one party surrendered to it, means that somebody have become submissive. You actually have taken over somebody else's willpower or have taken over somebody else's capacity, or whichever way you can relate to it. That is a modern definition of surrendering. Basically, you are using the force, power to show that you are greater and you are stronger than somebody, and everybody is below. You literally try to find a way as much as possible to over empower yourself. But when we use word surrender in yoga, when we use word surrender in yoga, is surrendering of your ego, not your awareness, not your viewpoint, what you are thinking, what you still have a statement, what you like to think, or what observation you like to make, how you say it, is slightly different. So basically, an asana point of view or a meditation point of view, when you surrender to yourself. You surrender to your higher self. You surrender to your awareness rather than the chattering of your mind. Whatever your mind brings you, something to flashy light to try to get you distracted from. So avoiding the distraction during the practice, so you can use the word surrender. So surrender, let's say that you're doing either sitting quietly. Now you surrender to sitting quietly. It is your choice. There is nobody else forcing you to do it. You want to do it. So rather than there is implication of losing your awareness, your willpower, or giving away your power to somebody, it's not that type of surrender. That's not by the force but by the choice in yoga. And if you take the same word surrender into the relationships, so you might surrender sometime. You don't really want to agree to it, but you agree sometime to disagree. Then you can also say, I surrender my ego for that moment of time to have a less issues, so your mind have less headache. But that everything have consequences, because again, you are losing your awareness. You are not agreeing. You are doing something where your senses are not happy. If any time when you violate the law of nature, any time when you violate the law of nature of your self-existence, that will have a side effect on your physical body as well as on your mental awareness. So I will not really recommend to allow your senses to do something where you feel that you do not really want to do it, or unless you've been would like to grow. You would like to grow. Let's say you come to a meditation class. I had a teacher one time. I don't want to be in the room even. But you can say, okay, there was a violation, or there was how do you do it? By force, I made my body surrender to be there. I made my mind surrender to be there. But because it's for my own goodness. So as long as your growth is involved, spiritual growth, and your mind is actually not that aware or conscious, sometimes you can also surrender to the God, the divine, or the energy inside you, or the awareness. So there's many aspects. If you look at religion point of view, they say surrender to God. Surrender to God. Some people like it, some people don't like it. You can say at least surrender to yourself that you like to be in a state of peace. To your own idea that you like to accomplish. So how to go by it is when you surrender it, you create a certain emotion in the heart chakra area, certain emotion in your biochemical happens inside the body. You reach to the egoless state if you're doing it consciously. So, what is the purpose of realizing yourself when you don't have ego? Just a total acceptance when you are totally gone. You no longer exist. Means your ego no longer exists. And that very state of mind when you are in process of surrender, you let it go, whatever holds you back in spiritual terms. So when you say the word letting go, which what you ask me to letting go somebody, means let go, surrender to it, let go, accept it. To surrender, you need a few things. You need to have first of all letting go, accepting that second part. You need to accept and open for either anything that's coming your way with no judgment to it. Or you can say, okay, I'm surrendering, but actually you're not surrendering, you still hold on to the things is current. Even your life would like to have a change, but you don't want to surrender to the life, you hold on to the old things. You're not surrendering to the new moment, what is coming to your way. You can also bring surrender into your day-to-day practice. You can surrender to the next moment, to the phase of life. You are enjoying the breath. Maybe the breath is coming very slowly, but you want to control it. You can surrender to the body. Allow your body to do things what they're doing rather than having control over it. So, in a spiritual term, letting go the control over your belief system, that can also be surrendered. Like you're here in the discourse, talking, but you have not surrendered your ego, is talking, you're processing, analyzing, judging, saying, how can you catch? You have not surrendered, even you have not even surrendered to make your presence to be where you are. So surrender can actually even bring you to the physically meditative state of mind, a being in the moment. If you try to practice being in the moment, you can't practice being surrendered to it. You have to surrender to the time and to your body to be where you are. So, in many different ways you can utilize it. So, surrender can be very beautiful, so it can be very awful sometimes, depending circumstances and depending on the how is being implemented and for what is being implemented. So when you're practicing meditation, I remember sometime in the practice, just surrender to yourself, like to your heart chakra, surrender to the sensation of the body. If you touch it, whatever you are actually experiencing, surrender to it. Somebody said, I don't really like word surrender. I feel like I'm losing my power. There was literally a statement somebody made. I am losing my power when I hear the word surrender. When you say the word surrender, people say, oh, I don't want to surrender. You want to fight it. You want to fight it. But can you not surrender to your touch, that you're touching the warmth in your heart chakra? So you want to hold on to your identity, hold on to your ego, yet like to get egoless state and completely abundance. As long as there is identity, as long as there is ego, there is no possibility of abundance. Ego means limitation. Identity means boundary and limitation, the label. So you can't be abundance. So many times when you hear word surrender, your ego jumps up, say, okay, no, don't surrender. You will not be existed. So you can have difficulties as well. So only time when you surrender, your belief goes, your ego goes, you have to do it in a way that you make peace at the time when you're letting it go. Not just make mental exercise. Make it feeling what kind of discomfort, pain your mind feel, what your mind feels at the time when the process of surrender is happening. You can't be in a state of love without surrendering. It is very statement of the fact. You cannot be in a state of love, or you cannot be in a state of mind, you cannot love anyone without surrendering. You have to let go your ego. You have to let go. If you hold on to your ego, you are not good enough for loving. You cannot love anyone, never mind anybody else, including yourself. So surrender can play a very beautiful role, but it's actually art. It's not fighting. It's not a mental exercise to surrender to it. It is a sensation, the feeling, that process. Once you start observing, you are constantly surrendering every moment of your life to a new idea. You surrender your out breath to a new breath. There is also a surrender, but you have to let go in order to have something new. So there is somebody asking a new question. Let me see, what is it? Did that make sense to you, Michael? I don't really hear you, Michael.
It's life is a process of surrender. It's
Yeah.
either conscious or unconscious. The ego wants to fight it because it wants to be in control. But the process of life, and through the asanas and meditation, I know my own body where it won't surrender, where it's pulling back, and then through the breath and through practice. And what come to mind, a lot of good stuff come to mind when you're speaking. The word humility come to mind, humbleness come to mind, discipline come to mind. They're all things that I don't naturally associate with surrender, but as you were speaking, they're a big part of surrender.
Like,
Mike,
let's say that when you are practicing a posture, and you try to surrender into the posture, if you hold on to it, you can't really go deep into the posture. You can't really let go. When you surrender into the posture, that time your mind becomes the same as what you are doing. Means you have surrendered your mind to that very action. Means you will have humility, you have developed humbleness. You can't surrender without humility being creating a possibility for a change. If you don't want to change, you will not surrender it. Every surrender brings change, basically. If there is change happening in your life, you have surrender directly or indirectly, consciously or unconsciously.
and what you were saying as well, surrender to love. It's like the universal power of love. Eventually, I think we all, at some level in our life, either consciously again or unconsciously, surrender to that, brought on by whatever life is giving us at that present time. So that was a big shift for me. So thank you for bringing that to my consciousness.
Thank you, Mark. Does anybody have any question related to this topic? Do you understand what we talked about? Is that okay? So there was I also use one more word at the time, sometime when we teach. But it's a quite important question. Sending the love, compassionate and kind vibration to the people, all beings, not just only to the humans. When you talk about all beings, immediately mind goes to your loved ones. Or we have met, you are with, and you may meet. They said, somebody asked a question, said, even to those people who I don't even like. Somebody asked the question, not even to the people who I don't even like, or to the people who have hurted me in the past, or people they use word, strong word called hate, even people I hate, or I don't love them, or have broken my heart. I said, I don't want to send it to them. I only want to send to people who I like. I said, neither your love, compassion, kindness, and your body frequency. You may think you are selective, but love is not selective. Lust might be. Your sense who you share with might be in given circumstances. Compassion, if you practicing selectively, you are not practicing compassion. If in your kindness there is selectiveness, you are not practicing kindness. If healing vibration is sending selectively, there is no any prosperity comes out of you. So, as imagine if you are part of abundance, part of nature, your body is part of nature, at least Prakriti. Yourself inside, maybe not Prakriti, maybe the Jiva or the Atma, or the soul or the God or the energy, you like to call it, or nothing, whatever you believe in. If you look it around you in nature, air does not create any discrimination. Even air gives the prana to the people who actually pollute it every day. They still get the prana. They say, okay, I don't want you to breathe anymore because you pollute me. They'll be dead in no time. Similarly, the water. Look at the space, okay? The trees, you go along, the same guy chop the branches of tree, may have actually killed the roots as well of the tree. Same guy who chopping the tree is still giving a shelter to that person every day in, day out in summer day. Maybe gives a fruit as well, gives the oxygen as well. But don't say to the person, sorry, I don't want to give it to you because you are destroying my life. You're chopping my roots every day, soon I will be dead. Tree does not discriminate. That is the law of nature. Similarly, the river doesn't drink his own water, gives all the time to it. You go along, pollute the river will not say, oh, sorry, you can't take the water from me. Probably not. Government might, but river wouldn't. So, law of nature is same is applies to you. When you let go of your limitation, when you open up yourself to love, to compassion, to the kindness, or basically to the abundance, which is a cosmic vibration, the cosmic energy. So what it does, you let go all the walls that you have created in your life. I give you, for example, if there is let's say the Michael doesn't like me, he creates a blockage, but he loves me very much. He can't actually live without me, He can't even stay away from me. So I even asked him to come and stay with me, but he said, no, it's too much. If you love somebody or don't love somebody, look back in your life. Every person you don't like or have come in contact with you, you try to reject or you try to protect from, means there is a invisible wall of energy or mental as well. So means you created yourself a prison. The more walls you create around you, more self-imprison you create in your mind as well as for your cosmic vibration around you. So the word hate, I will not actually bring it to the life. Never bring it. There is nothing that important in your life than your freedom. You want a freedom, but you got so many walls around you. Mental wall. I don't like this person because of this. I don't like this person because of this. I don't like these people because of this. I don't like this person because this. Your whole life is full of that. Even either it's from because of love, or it's because of the word, or because of your statement of the viewpoint, or however you can relate to it. But you say, I'm in love with abundance. I am abundance. You are not. In my viewpoint, you are limited. That's where your limitation will come from. Limitation of thinking, limitation of love, limitation of care, limitation of kindness, despite you practicing every day love and compassion. But actually you are not practicing in the reality. You're practicing subjective and objective. As long as your relation remains objective, based on the benefit to your senses, and subjective to the people whoever you feel related to, you are not connected with abundance. You are not in line with the universal frequency. You are not in line with the universal vibration. You are not in line with the God. You are not in line with the law of nature, a law of even yourself. When you see somebody, first thing, do you come with the frequency of not liking? No. Your natural frequency is to like. Your natural frequency is to give. Natural frequency is to love, not to hate. Those things comes later on based on how your sense get treated, how your ego get treatment from those people. So, in my view, even you don't like somebody, you still give love. Do you understand? You still send a loving kind, but only way you can find a freedom, only way you can heal yourself, you can have a everyday healing session, as long as you will give a healing energy to people who may have hurted you, you are not going to be healed. I can remember that. I can make that again. You can have healing session every day. You can give yourself plenty of love and compassion. Slaughter yourself. Even swim in it every day. Till you are ready to send love, compassion and healing to the people who may have hurted you or may create a situation where you feel that you need a healing or your limitation. You are not going to be healed. So your source of healing will come from people, if you can give the healing to the people who have hurted you, who may have created a concern for you in your life. Because your wall will be broken. When the wall goes away, universal energy flow towards you. Your mind will have a less concern, less blockage. The only wound you have is somebody gave it to you. You try to heal your wound, but energy of that relationship is still there. Try to heal the person, you will automatically be healed. If that makes sense to you? You will free yourself as well as whoever have got involved in that scenario in your life. So I ask the person, please do. Even to the people you don't really like, send them a love, compassion. Send them a healing vibration. He said, person was very vegan. He said, even people who eat meat, I said, send them twice as much. send them twice as much. I say even the people who I don't even really like, they go killing people, even to the pedophiles, even with people actually who hurt. I said, give them a love, compassion, send them a healing vibration. You are not injuring. You can still send them a healing vibration, love and compassion, so they can grow out of their mental limitation where they are at the time. Let the Lord do their job. You cannot do anything by hating them. Or you will create hatred inside yourself. You send somebody a negative energy. If you send somebody a hatred vibration, they receive or not receive. They may never receive, but person who received that was yourself first. Before even you get the thought of hatred, even you get the thought of negativity, if you get the thought of anger, thought of frustration, or a wishing somebody anything evil or the bad, they may receive it or not receive it, but who received it, who already got impacted, is yourself. Belly own self get affected by it. Because that's where the root is. You are giving it away, but where it got produced was in you. So you were affected before, then somebody else get affected. They may never be affected. So somebody swears at you, let's say in Chinese or Japanese or English. I don't really know English swearing. For me, it's just a word. If your tongue got dirty, your mind got corrupted, your frequency got corrupted, but I just heard the word. Maybe I never heard the word, but you sitting in a sofa and crying your head out and swearing at me, shouting at me, do I care about it? You're not even coming near me at all. But who's getting corrupted? Yourself. So similarly apply to any emotion you send it to anyone. Any frequency, either it's hatred, love, compassion, frequency of the vibration of kindness, or liking, disliking, anger, frustration, they may never receive, but they may receive. But initially, before they get affected, you are already affected by it. So, would you like yourself to be full of love? If the answer is yes, then send love. Get plenty, as much as more you give, you get same amount anyway. Send compassion. Have a peaceful, loving thoughts. Because that will keep your mind insane. Away from being insane, not insane. So that was the one point. So next question I have for you is somebody from YouTube asking, can I speak about energy around the head? Why is saving the head important to the Brahmacharis? What does it do to the energetic level of the body? Thank you. I said thank you for asking the question. Person said thank you to answering the question. This is a very important question. Hairs, I don't have a bald head, by the way. I have hairs everywhere. I have a beard as well because I believe, personal belief, yeah. I will advise everybody to grow beard and hair. Whoever can grow. I say whoever can grow. But we love polluting the nature. We love polluting the nature. Shaving cream, so many chemicals you put on your body. It's unnecessary. For who you put on? So somebody looks at you say, oh, how handsome, how beautiful person is to do. I remember Michael used to shave himself every day. He go along, check. There was no mirror. In 2013 when he came first time to Yogi India. There was no mirror, and he just going crazy basically. Literally going crazy everywhere to look for a mirror so he can see his face, how handsome he's looking. I told him, you look exactly the same what you were looking yesterday. Nothing changed. If whatever changed inside, I can't see it. That have to be seen later on. One day he discovered there was a windows was reflecting. So he goes himself, not inside the house. He spent more time outside his room, standing in front of the window, looking himself. So sometimes it's for the looks, but as a question to you, the energy around the head, when you meditate, and especially at the time of Brahmacharya, it keeps the root of your hairs healthy, physical. Second, the fear of getting bald, when you're practicing and during the Brahmacharya, lot of ojas goes inside the body, energy rises up to the crown. Sometimes, if hairs are there, you can feel a lot of heat in your head. Lots of heat. When the lots of heat happen, that may fry up the roots of your hair. That's why you can see most meditator people who really meditate, after some time they get bald patch on top of the head. Fire of the crown chakra completely takes away the hair. Now some of you might be thinking, I am going to stop meditating immediately from tomorrow because I love my hair. I don't want to go for hair transplant because I'm meditating. So that's not the point. Only time your hair will lose if the proportion of energy arises in you by force, then you will lose it. Second part, sometimes age, you can also lose your hair, but main reason is the heat. And when you are doing the Brahmacharya, all the practices, amount of stress you have of the practice sometimes can be quite a lot to process. Brahmacharis means when they are doing the acharan of the Brahma, acharan of the self, practicing every focus awareness is about yourself. That is the Brahmacharya mean. There is nothing important than self-realization. Would you, in the process of self-realization, would you like to have distraction of in your life, washing your hair long period of time? When you have no hair, you throw the water, it goes over the body. You don't actually have to dry your hair afterward or have to shampoo it away, all those things. Saves time because you are so much in a rush to maximize the time for the practice. Second, it takes away the attraction. When you see somebody with a bald head and with the hair, you will see the difference, the physical attraction. So Brahmacharis save their head to take away the attraction for the general public. But some people still find that attractive, so it doesn't really work. Why saving the head is very important for a brahmachari is to time management. Second, so energy can flow properly. Have a less heat in your crown chakra, so don't become hot tempered. You are brahmachari, you're practicing a sadhana all day long, then you are celibate. There is lots of heat in the body, you can become easily tempered. Your meditational power, the heat goes into the head, plus celibacy, you become very easily irritable. That's another reason to save it off. So actually, heat is contrarily becomes a bypassing system. Second, for the looks. Third, so you don't see your bald patch if they ever have developed. Second, making sure when you're practicing meditation, always your head is covered. If you have hair, you're meditating for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, obviously you can feel a lot of heat in your head, which is we have to spend more shampoo and probably Brahmacharis those days they used to have shampoo. They used to go dip themselves in the river or use the clay, which means a long process. So the time management came along in the way as well. What does it do to the energy level of the body? It maintains the heat. It regulates the heat of your body by saving the head. If you look at a different scenario, sometime when you go for initiation, first early stage, they ask you to save your head. Or cases means your pride, basically your pride. They also relate the hairs as a that's belief system, letting go of everything, whatever you believe to do, is a burden on your head. So having a less burden, so you make the offering of your pride, offering of your ego into a next step. So letting go of everything, the whatever you have understood psychologically, metaphorically, head represents your understanding, knowledge. So he's saving the head off means letting go of whatever you have belief system inside your head. Usually it was supposed to be that way, then later on it became a physical ritual. I would rather have you let go of your belief system, whatever you hold in your head, than saving your hair. Surrender your head, not your hair. Let go of your head, your ego, then your hair. If you do get bald patch, who cares? You still look attractive and beautiful because you will have a spiritual glow inside you. So don't give up meditation, please. Please continue. I think I gave some time ago a nice tip. If you meditate and you feel a lot of heat in your head area, always drop a few drops of sesame seed inside the nostril regularly, and ghee massage your crown, which is vegan people don't like it. Then you take almond oil, massage your head regularly to prevent losing your hair. If you meditate half an hour a day, 20 minutes a day, don't need to worry about it. Only when you meditate 2 hours, 3 hours in one stretch, then you have something to concern of. For 10, 20 minute meditation regularly will not make no difference to you. Okay. So I hope that answers your question why you save the head. It is to let go the samskaras, letting go of your karmas. When you save the head, you want to embark on a new journey with a new head. You letting go of your samskaras, letting go of your karmas, at the same time maintain the calmness of the head. When you meditate, also we put sandal wood paste all over your head. You also put sometimes the sandstone to keep the cooling effect of the energy, making sure your kundalini rises up to the crown so you don't feel too much heat in your head. So they need to put sandalwood over it, sometimes sandstone to maintain the heat of kundalini. So when you have hairs, you can't put that. So they say, save the hairs, you can actually put some sandalwood or a sandstone on your head to keep the kundalini rising steady, not literally fry your head up. Okay. So there was many reasons, but nowadays sadhana is just only for a name or sometimes for decoration. If you're really looking for the good practice, you do not need to create a unnecessary self-hurdles in your life. Important part, you do your self-practice every day. If you don't have a self-practice, it will be difficult to grow in the path. On that note, I hope it makes sense to you all. Thank you. Namaste. How is everybody feeling? Is there any question on the YouTube? Myself after that. Okay. Thank you. Anybody have a question on Zoom? You okay, Joy? Thank you, everyone.